Oh, I see. Hi. Oh, okay. Hi, 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 hi. Oh. looks like a very dangerous activity. Key for a lock. That's okay, no. So unreasonable. Last time we were sitting in this hallway. Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, I mean, 8 days is faster. I hope you have access to ancient wisdom how to manage it. From my perspective, I'm once grateful that I live in Italy for the low temperatures, but then yeah, it's also pain in the ass. I mean, I'm ashamed to say much more. Just stop it. You know, you have full days of battery backup, and that gets you to like 4, 5, 6 hours. But you know, then like charge that and charge the laptop. Oh, yeah. Seriously? Yeah, to an extent you have to approach. I mean, how important we are, you know, it's like it's also shitty of us. The same way, that's how life takes us. So you can't laugh so much.
Yeah, and I'm also seeing your almost the first time person.
Yeah.
You chat briefly over meals and and I'm meeting him also.
Yeah, same. Long time ago. Oh, is it? Oh, you went there? But then there's a lot of Samir Sharmas in India, so I was not sure. Yeah, even I saw the number UAE, okay, chances are increasing. on the first side of the body.
Reading about your
We're very good friends. Hopefully nice things. How is he doing? I've not been in touch in a while. He was in transitioning as he went back. He's into? Nice. Very interesting chat. Oh yeah.
How about your name? Name of the guy started correcting you.
He's were you part of the innovation team? They were talking about one innovation deal that they just
చాలా టెస్టింగ్స్ అయ్యాయి చాలా టెస్టింగ్స్ అయ్యాయి పంపిస్తారు యూట్యూబ్లో ప్రోగ్రెసివ్ వెల్ఫేర్ సొసైటీ
lot of good we did once in our get together and see how to I think it's going well. Now the third one is planning it and touch down west. Now there's no support. Your founders are they are not sure what they're getting. So they are all coming in and we are planning the structure. Last week was so it just kind of I don't know these two countries. Yes.
Yeah. Good to meet you.
Very good morning. I request all the dignitaries to have a take seat. Please बैठिए. Once again, very good morning. On behalf of National Institute for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises and our Director General, Dr. S. Glory Swarupa, I invite you for this national seminar on biochar manufacturing equipment and carbon credits. And I request Shri Sai Bhaskar Reddy Garu to welcome our dignitaries onto the dais and give welcome address, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Good morning, everyone. Yeah. Now I welcome Sri R.K. Mehta Garu, the Chairman, Progressive Biochar Society, onto the dais. I welcome our chief guest, Sri Dr. P. Chandrasekhar Garu from DG from Manage, onto the dais. I welcome guest of honor, Dr. S. Glory Sarupa Madam, onto the dais.
Madam will join in.
Okay. I welcome our presiding dignitary, Sri Dr. L. Venkatram Reddy Garu, onto the dais. I welcome Sri S.K. Gupta Garu, our secretary to PBS, onto the dais. I welcome moderator to the session, Sri K.S. Gaud Garu, onto the dais. Yeah, this is an important occasion for us to gather across India, and this is the national seminar on biochar manufacturing and carbon credits. Both are very, very important, and today we'll have very intense discussions, and we have some of the best people who are already into it and working at all levels, and who have come all the way. I welcome each and every speaker and all the participants, and also those who are watching online also, including press, media, and also NIMISMI that is supporting us in this whole thing. And Rainbow Biochar Academy is another organization, as well as Newsweed Seeds, as well as Carbon Capture Solutions, who are also supporting us in this whole efforts. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Reddy Garu. Now I invite Shri R.K. Mehta ji to give details on genesis of this particular seminar. Sir, I welcome you, sir. Mehta ji, please. You can.
Good morning, everybody. Dignitaries on the dais, fellow delegates. Hello. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, good. I will repeat again. Welcome, everybody. I pay respect to all the dignitaries on the dais and all the guests. My topic is the genesis of the seminar. How did we think of doing this seminar? And I thought I'll explain you briefly the work done by two organizations, Progressive Biochar Society and Rainbow Bamboo Academy, joined together to organize this program on technical aspects. Logistics has been provided by MSME, which is very good. Okay. We at the two societies are convinced about the 4 or 5 factors which are connected with the biochar sector. Number one, biochar sector will see rapid growth in coming years. Biochar sector will see rapid growth in the coming years. Welcome, madam. Welcome. Secondly, in the last 5 years, several companies have come up in India for designing and manufacturing biochar manufacturing equipment, which is the backbone of any manufacturing sector. And they need a place to showcase their equipment, which is what we are providing today. We have invited 3 leading manufacturers to showcase their capabilities. opportunity to come to carbon credit. This is a new phenomena recently developed that the biochar manufacturers and users can get carbon credit. But this is a bit of a complicated story. So we have got 3 speakers today to explain us how to qualify for carbon credits and non-carbon credits. And there is a very growing interest of entrepreneurs and investors. So these 4 factors were important. We considered in our committees and said, yes, it's the right time to call for a national seminar and present all the manufacturers and carbon credit practitioners in the thing. I join everybody in thanking, of course, our sponsors for the seminar. We have studied, how did we get to this idea? We have studied the development in USA over the last 18 years. The first manufacturing plant was started in USA in 2006. And in 18 years, can you believe, they have got 250 manufacturing plants for making biochar using various technologies, which I'll describe just now. The equipment they are manufacturing considers simpler equipment called the Contiki kilns, which is called the flame cap equipment, where hot gases enter the atmosphere. But still it is approved, and it has been approved for the carbon credit companies also. There are many plants, more plants are there making what is called engineered biochar. There are pyrolysis equipment, which is a rotary kiln with the better instrumentation, and it can produce what is called engineered biochar. They can control the porosity, which is a very important part of it. We are also aware that biochar is available in many plants in USA also, as in India, from the biogas manufacturers. And that is happening in India also, and we'll hear about them today. So in USA, they are working with R&D institutes. So we have got all the factors available which led to development in USA and Europe also. Europe also has about 300 industries today. They are ahead of USA in the manufacturing application of biochar. We are confident that by following the approach and making it suitable for India, India can have almost 100 units manufacturing biochar in the next 5 years. And we need a lot of support from the R&D institutes. I will now give history of biochar in India. It is amazing. The first pyrolysis plant was imported by an NGO in Tamil Nadu called SCART from Australia, called Black Green. They imported it. That's the first imported pyrolysis plant in India, in Tamil Nadu. It is not functioning now. That is a separate reason. But we must compliment them that 10 years, almost 20 years ago, they thought of the pyrolysis equipment to be imported. Now, various research centers of ICAR and CSR have proven the advantage of using biochar by making into biofertilizers. Announcement of productivity have been proven. So that is a very good background for us. As I said, we believe today, even today, 10 units are manufacturing biochar using rotary kiln type of equipment, which is a very good beginning, and it should go to about 200 in the next 5 years. Currently, more than 50 entrepreneurs are manufacturing biochar using flame cap kiln called the Contiki kiln, where the hot gases go out, and they are able to manufacture biochar and even claim carbon credit, because that type of equipment is a proof of carbon credit. We'll hear that in the afternoon session. There are 2 different types of manufacturing biochar. Is overall distribution we are saying. First method is where the biomass is burnt and is cooled down before it becomes ash. I'll repeat again. One process is available, which is a Contiki kiln and other similar equipment, where biomass is burnt, actually burnt, and is cooled down before it becomes ash, and the biochar available. I am calling that as a commercial grade biochar, which is very suitable for all the agricultural applications. Commercial grade biochar is available. The second method is biomass is put in a rotary kiln, which is a screw conveyor, and heated from outside, where you can control the temperature, the dwell time of the biomass in the kiln, and control the properties. And this is called engineered biochar. So I am repeating again, I have taken the liberty of dividing biochar available in the market in two grades. Commercial grade biochar made by Contiki Film and other organizations, equipment. Other is engineered biochar, which use sophisticated equipment. And why it is popular? Because Indian economy markets are limited yet, and very soon we will see more engineered biochar available in the market, meeting the specific requirement of the clients, that is the porosity, the carbon content, and other properties. Okay, one important development in India happened in 2 years ago. One company from Denmark called Mash Makes has set up a plant in Karnataka. This is a very modern plant which is using biomass, and they're using cashew nut shell as a biomass. And they're making, and their focus is they have tuned the plant to make maximum of the oil, bio oil available from the process. They convert that bio oil into a high value biofuel for diesel engines, and they are selling at a very high rate. This company does not want to sell equipment in India. We had approached them, they said we won't sell. They are looking investment from overseas to put the second and third plant. Biochar is available from gasification plants, as I said earlier. There are many gasification plants available in India where biochar is available, but it's a byproduct. So it can't be called engineered grade. It is commercial grade biochar available, and that is available at reasonable prices. And there are more than 50, Tarak sir will correct me, gasification plants available, biomass gasification plants available. In the seminar today, I am requesting the equipment manufacturer to explain these aspects which we have just talked about for the information, and I am sure many investors will be able to select the right equipment and the right company for their investments. I wish good luck to all the participants and the proceedings which are happening around. We have got very learned chief guest today, and he will look forward to his advice on development of biochar in India and help available from R&D institutes, both from CSIR labs and his ministry, Ministry of Agriculture. So 3 very important areas he is covering. We would like to hear from him on that. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mehta ji, for giving background of this particular seminar and also content. Sir, I request your permission of the chief guest. Sir, our DG is having one important meeting. So I invite our Director General, Dr. S. Glory Swarupa, to address the participants. So, Madam, please.
Namaskar. Dr. Mehta ji, the very passionate professional and one and the only man behind this one-day national seminar. Today's chief guest, Dr. Chandrasekhar, Director General, Manage, Mr. N. Sai Reddy garu, Dr. Venkatrama Reddy garu, Mr. Surya Prakash Gaud, and all the invited guests from Bamboo and Biochar family and other related professional organizations. A very good morning to all of you and greetings from National Institute for Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises, Ministry of MSME, Government of India, Hyderabad. A warm welcome to you all to our institute. We are an organization of Ministry of MSME. We have significantly contributed diamond years of services to the nation and also for the growth and development of MSME sector. We are learning. So we don't know what is biochar, but we are learning. January 1st, we have established a small unit in our campus to make this biochar. We are very fortunate in Hyderabad to have such a campus, having very good biodiversity. Whatever comes from the campus, we are trying to make it as biochar. The leaf and other things, biomass, we are trying to make it as compost, and other parts of the plants, and also the wood waste from the furnitures and other material of infrastructure, we are trying to create this biochar in the campus, and we have given that to a small society. It is formed by our own library students. So we are doing our own efforts in this mission of greening and maintaining the green campus. We also have one more demonstration unit, approved unit from Nujividi Seeds.
Yes.
Yeah, Nujividi Seeds also helped us to have improved version of that kiln in the campus. I think today's seminar on biochar manufacturing equipment and carbon credits will give us some action plan and some direction. I think to take it to the next level, to upgrade and to motivate and encourage all the key players in this sector, to go for better contributions in the greening of all the endeavors. And for us, of course, MSMEs are more concerned. I'm very happy with untiring efforts of Dr. Mehta ji. Even during nights, he comes and he requests me that, madam, we will do this program. So looking at his, enthusiasm, we are very much motivated. That's how this program is happening. And I'm so much delighted to see Dr. Raghuramulu Garu. He is the former director from Coffee Board. We were colleagues 20 years ago in same organization. I'm so happy to see Doctor here. And I extend a special welcome to Dr. K.R.K. Reddy Garu. We were also very much associated since long time. Likewise, I cannot mention the names. I cannot mention the names. Very senior professionals are here, seasoned professionals are here, and very serious professionals and passionate professionals are here. I take your permission, and I look forward for the action plan and the proceedings of this seminar. Together, let us make this biochar as our regular practice and save the environment. My best wishes to all of you, and thank you very much for making this program at NIMSME, and whatever the endeavors related to micro enterprise are making it as a business entity or activity, we are with you. You can approach us for any help, any kind of assistance for network collaborations, financial assistance, or technology linkages with institutions or schemes. We will help you, and we are with you. Thank you very much. So I request the esteemed dais to permit me to leave the program. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. You want to have presentation? Yeah. Sir, actually, Dr. Mehta ji wants to attend 2 presentations of the entrepreneurs. So based on that, you can give your suggestions and comments, sir. So for that reason, now I invite Mr. Flo Oberhofer from Pyrolysis India Private Limited to make a presentation. Yeah, please. Better to have. Yeah, sir, please. Ready. నేను పెట్టేస్తాను ఇప్పుడే పెట్టేస్తాను.
సార్ ఒకసారి సార్ పీపీటీ తీసుకోవాలి. వాట్సాప్ వాట్సాప్
I have it on the on the biochar crusaders group. I share this group in
ఇనాగరేషన్ ఉండాలి.
I will be walking around.
to impress on the whole country.
Oh, it's visible.
It's audible now.
Oh, it's audible.
ఎదురుగా టీం అంతా నిజమా
Okay. I'll change it myself. I'll go and change it myself. All good. It's okay. I'll do it. Don't worry. Don't worry. Perfect. Okay. Respected dignitaries, biochar crusaders. I already have. Oh, another one. Okay, good. I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll do that. My name is Flo Hofer. I'm the COO of Pyrox Germany and also the managing director of Pyrox India. I have been in India for, this is my 8th year in India. I've been mostly working in the fields of agriculture, in the fields of sustainability now for a long time, also on biochar specifically, specifically since 2018 on biochar. And I'm based out of Shillong, Meghalaya in the northeast for the last 4 years. I have been working there with the government of Meghalaya, with the Chief Minister's office on entrepreneurship development and rural development as well. And as Pyrox, we basically work on biochar carbon removal specifically. So not only biochar, but biochar carbon removal in the global south. Before I tell a little more about biochar, first my big congratulations and thanks to Dr. Mehta, to Dr. Sai. I think it deserves a huge respect what they have started in India. I think it started as biochar crusaders a few years ago, and this is, I mean, it has been a few years that we've known each other, and now it has peaked in, I think, the climax institute for biochar in the country. And I think huge congratulations for this, and I think it deserves applause as well. So Dr. Sai, Dr. Mehta, huge congratulations. I'm also very honored that I can present along dear colleagues like Manoj, who are brilliant, people in the field of pyrolysis equipment. I have not seen Shankar yet. I'm sure he's also there today. We've also known them for a long time, and these are brilliant minds which have managed to wrap their way around a very complex topic, which is biochar making. So now let me dive a little deeper into what we actually do. So as Pyrox, our focus is actually the global south, because we strongly believe that where I come from the global north, we are responsible for the misery we are in when it comes to climate change. Maybe not sole responsible, but pretty much sole responsible, I would say. So we are responsible, but the global south is actually the geography which is suffering most from climate change. I mean, we see it now in India with these peaking temperatures going on and going on. It's not going to get better anytime soon, right? So in the end, there's a huge industry being built now around biochar, around carbon removal, biochar carbon removal. And again, it's pretty much only the global north which is benefiting from that. Around 80% of all investments in this sector are at the moment going into the global north. So again, the global south is even being let out in this context, right? So it's like a huge hypocrisy. We want to save the climate or the environment. At the same time, it's supposed to happen in the global north, while the global south actually has the most land mass and also the most biomass, if you want it that way, right? So from that perspective, we started Pyrox with the premise, okay, we wanted to work exclusively in the global south. I'll just run back and forth here a little bit. No, it's okay. I'll take it. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So biochar carbon removal. So as Pyrox, just to do a little name dropping as well in the beginning, we mainly our main core business is obviously the carbon credits, and I'll get to that during my speech as well. So some of the core players we work with in terms of buying these carbon credits are Milky Wire, Klarna, and Zen Internet. Milky Wire is one of the top 10 buyers of carbon removals worldwide. And yeah, so basically all of these carbon credits that we generate, they're all going to the global north as well. So this is where the market is, because these are all biochar carbon removal credits are very high priced credits, and I'm happy to go into this a little later as well. So most of them are being sold to Europe, to the US, Japan, South Korea. Yeah, so I think most of you will have seen this picture. Probably will have some more presentations going into the quality of biochar, the porosity of biochar, but I just wanted to show that as well. Very important for our work is we started Pyrox also with a mission to improve soil. That was a core value for us, because don't quote me on the numbers, but if we would able to manage to increase humus content in soil by around 1.7% across the globe, we could actually save the environment as well, or could mitigate this climate change, because it will also bind CO2. So that was a starting point for us. So all the biochar that we make in our various projects, it's a premise for us that it goes back into the soil one way or the other. There's different ways to do that. I'm happy to discuss that. I'll not go into that too deep today. But it's a must for us that it goes back into the soil, because this is where it has by far the most power. Okay, so now when it comes to biochar quality, there is a couple of apex institutes which are looking at how to make biochar and the quality of biochar. So the ones we are working with, so the three main ones are is actually the Ithaca Institute, which is also called sometimes Carbon Standards International, and the second one is the International Biochar Initiative, IBI. But those two institutes are actually merging, and there's a lot of convergence. So there's more like one main international standard on how to make biochar and also how to measure the quality of biochar. So we are working with Carbon Standards International, Ithaca Institute, and the two standards that they are having is World Biochar Certificate, WBC, and EBC, European Biochar Certificate. And the main differences between those two is the strictness of how biochar, the quality of biochar is being measured. So World Biochar Certificate is more for the global south. European Biochar Certificate, as you can already assume, that's more for Europe. So Europe has a lot of strict limits, a lot of strict guidelines. So the EBC standard for the biochar is way more strict. And I mind you, this is just talking about how to make the biochar. This has nothing to do for now about the carbon credit component of it. Okay, so this is the basis of everything that we do. This tells you what does the biochar quality have to look like, how much of the heat that a plant is producing has to be used, how much of the carbon that you're putting in has to come out again in one form or the other. So there's a lot of components to it. 20 minutes to present today is a little too less to go deep into this, but I'd like to at least share a little bit of insights, specifically when it comes to the biochar quality, because I think that's a very important factor and very interesting. Yeah, this is way too small, so I've also shared my presentation on the Biochar Crusaders and the society group, so you can also open it there and maybe zoom in a little bit. So some of the main components, apart from the carbon content, apart from the ash content, and so on and so forth, when you look at biochar quality, two I want to present today is the H/C ratio. So H/C, hydrogen over carbon, basically determines the permanence of your biochar in soil or in material. So what that means is, how long is the biochar going to stay in the soil and is not going to degrade? So when you talk about carbon credits, so I'm already diving into that a little bit. When you look at carbon credits, you're looking at a long permanence. So you're looking at 1,000 years permanence or more. That means this carbon, this CO2 is stored in the soil for more than 1,000 years. So now the lower your H/C ratio, the higher the duration. So let's say you have a H/C ratio less than 0.4, that's already quite good, but you know there's methods to go even below that. So for example, the biochar that we make in our industrial plants has a H/C ratio of 0.25. So that's quite low, but it can even go lower, no doubt. But 0.25 is quite good. So let's say if you're above 0.4, that means you only have a permanence of 100 years. Okay, so that means after 100 years, there's no more biochar in the soil. So now what happens is all your carbon credit buyers, they are obviously looking for the highest permanence and durability. So these are the two words, permanence, durability. They are used very interchangeably. They're looking for the maximum permanence. Obviously, they want to have this carbon bound as long as possible. So if you have a bad H/C ratio, there's a good chance your carbon credits will not be worth much, or you'll not be even able to sell them. So that's a very important factor. Another important factor, the second one I'd like to introduce, that's in this lower right area, if you have opened it on your phone, that's the total polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAH. So now PAH is a very important factor because when you use it in soil, PAH is potentially carcinogenic. Potentially. There's not a lot of research around it. There's still a lot of research to be done, but it's potentially carcinogenic. And eventually that means if you have a high PAH ratio in the European Union, you're not even allowed to put it in soil. So it's a very, very important factor. And the way how you can mitigate the PAH is by certain treatments. For example, the most common treatment that is being used is by quenching it with water, because that means that you get rid of all the pyrogases which contain these PAHs. So you quench it with water and then all of this stuff evaporates. But again, this is a very important factor, and I don't know whether you have it open. For both EBC and WBC, you have different categories of biochar quality. The lowest quality is materials. So that means you can put it in concrete. You can put it in asphalt, right? You can use the biochar there. There's very valid usages. You can build it. You can put it in isolation for houses. There's a lot of use cases for that. So that's the lowest one. So you pretty much don't need to stick to anything when it comes to these lowest. And then it builds up. Then you go to EBC Agro. You go to EBC Agro Organic. So this is, you can use it in soil for soil application, and you can even use it in organic agriculture. So there's a difference again. So the more we move up, the stricter the limits get, the less, what do you call it? Contamination you can have. Then the highest level is EBC Feed and EBC Feed Plus, I think it's called. So this is when you use it for animal fodder, because biochar can also be used as an additive to animal fodder, reducing the methane, reducing the need for antibiotics in animals. So the higher you get in these categories, the stricter these limits get. And we are able to make the highest quality biochar in our industrial plants as well. So this is EBC, so super strict EBC. Then you have WBC, which is a little more relaxed when it comes to these thresholds. These are the two main values I wanted to tell you about. It's also important to understand there's, for an industrial plant, you have to test around, I think around 45 parameters, more than that, I think it is. And basically, there's, for example, heavy metals which you have to test. Heavy metals are not such a big deal, usually because heavy metals are, if you use waste biomass, it's not such a big topic. But yeah, lab testing is at the core of what we are doing, and we are spending lakhs and lakhs of money, which makes people like Mahindra from QSS Labs very happy, on lab testing of biochar. So now the three countries we are active in is Namibia, India, and Indonesia at the moment. We have different models how we work. We work either as a project developer. That means we are developing own projects, running these projects. They are registered on our name. And the second way how we work is we provide our pyrolysis machinery along with our software system and all certification services to third-party project developers. So we call this carbon credit plug-and-play package, where people can just set it up very, very easily. And in Namibia, we are running industrial projects. I'll show you in a second. In India, we are running artisan projects. I'll show you that in a second as well. And in Indonesia, we have sold one of our plants, which is actually just being set up on Borneo by a company. So this is one of our plants in Namibia. We have currently this one plant running in Otjiwarongo in Namibia. We have a second plant that we are just building up. Infrastructure is already done. Pyrolysis machinery is just being delivered. And that will be active and certified in August this year. And we have just closed funding for our third plant. And we have quite ambitious plans for Namibia because we intend to set up 400 own plants in Namibia by the end of this decade. And I'll tell you a little more about what we do in Namibia now. So Namibia has a massive issue with encroaching bushes. And why am I telling you this very extensively? Because India has as well. In India, you have prosopis, which is a huge pain in the ass, and the biomass that we use in Namibia is actually very related to prosopis. So the one that we use in Namibia is called Acacia mellifera, and there's a lot of other biomasses like this around. So this is the bush. As it is in Namibia, you have in total 1.2 billion tons of this Acacia mellifera in Namibia. So it's a menace for Namibia, 1.2 billion tons. And out of those 1.2 billion tons, you can actually harvest 450 million tons sustainably. Sustainably means according to FSC standards for savanna ecosystem restoration. So these bushes, they draw water from the groundwater table. They do not allow any biodiversity in there. So it's a huge menace for everyone in the country. Again, very similar to prosopis in India. Just one reference, prosopis takes around, one prosopis plant, medium-sized, takes around 25 liters every day out of the groundwater table. And they can go down very, very deep. So Babul. Yeah. So yeah, this is what we use in Namibia, and it's there in abundance. So 400 plants, if we manage to set this up, it's just going to be a drop on a hot stone. Yeah, so this is our team in Namibia. Basically, our plant itself is very labor intensive. I'll tell you that in a second. So we need around 20 people. So we also generate a lot of employment, and this plant is running 24/7 throughout the year. Very important. So now this plant, this is the plant. Okay, so this is actually a plant that we have set up in India at one point in time. I'll tell you the story as well. But I'll first explain you the plant a little bit. So this is what we call a semi-continuous batch system. You have the two categories, batch and continuous, but this is in between. Why is it in between? Because it's running 24/7. So we call it a semi-continuous batch system because it's continually running. By design, it's a batch plant, but due to the fact that we always keep it running, it's a semi-continuous batch system. So basically what happens is you put the biomass, again, I go back, in the format that we have shown here. So this is the biomass as it goes into our reactors. So we fill these reactors very densely, these reactor pots very densely with the biomass until the top. So you have around 1,000 kgs of biomass going into one of these reactor pots. And then they are being lifted into one of these 4 burning chambers that you see sequentially sorted there. So now what happens is when we start the plant, we use the same biomass to fire up the plant. Okay? So once the plant is running, so that means, once a pot has reached around 320, 340 degrees, then you have the pyrogases gassing out of the biomass. So you have all kinds of stuff, I'm not a chemist, you have like methane, you have nitrous oxide, you have CO2, you have carbon monoxide, you have a lot of alcohols in there. So these are starting to gas out and we are collecting them. So we are connecting this reactor pot, which is airtightly sealed. We're connecting this to the system through a nozzle. And then through this pipe that you can see in front of the plant, we are collecting these pyrogases. And then we are routing them to the back of the plant, and there you see these 5 cylinders. And in these 5 cylinders, we are cleaning, scrubbing, washing the pyrogases. And what happens during that time is, first of all, they cool down. And the solids, the condensables, or the materials like wood tar and wood vinegar, they are condensing out. And we are capturing them, you cannot see that here, in a pool in the back of the plant. And once the pyrogases are cooled down, then they are being routed back into these 4 chambers for burning. So that means once the plant is up and running, then it's fully self-sustaining from the pyrogases. So that means you don't have any external energy anymore that you need to heat the plant. And this is indirect heating, we call this dry distillation. So that means the fire never touches the biomass, the fire only heats the pot. Okay? And again, very important, I think it is to note that we have as a byproduct, as we've heard from Dr. Mehta, we have wood vinegar and wood tar, which actually wood vinegar, there's companies like Meshmakes, and there's also companies in Germany who set up multi-million-dollar plants just for the wood vinegar. So it's an extremely valuable product used in the pharmaceutical industries, and more commonly also in agriculture as a biostimulant, for example, or also as a natural pesticide in certain instances. So this is our plant. When it comes to electricity consumption of the plant, you've seen the picture of Namibia. This plant is in the middle of nowhere. There's only desert around it. So this plant can fully run off solar power. So it has an average energy consumption of around 6 kilowatt. We have an electric hoist, we have an industrial blower, we have 2 pumps, and we have like small consumers like light and chargers and so on and so forth. Yeah.
That's for 1 ton of rice.
I'll get to that. So basically, okay, I'll answer that straight away. So basically the capacity of this plant is an input of 3,500 tons of biomass per year. Yeah. An output of 1,000 tons of biochar per year. Okay? So now this is, you would consider that as a small scale operations, but we did this on purpose because that's the only way how we can set up hundreds of these plants. These huge plants, where you have tens, thousands of tons of capacity, they cost a couple of $1 million very, very fast, right? So that's why we did this by design, to keep a very dedicated, smaller. It's not a small, but it's a smaller capacity. So very important for India. Now we had this plant. This picture is from Nashik. We set this up in Nashik. Unfortunately, the partner we worked with was not able to give us enough biomass. So what we did with this plant, we dismantled it and sold it to Indonesia. So that's the one that's being set up in Borneo for now. But the good thing is we could do all the emission testing and all the pollution control board approvals in India. And obviously we are manufacturing these plants now in India exclusively. So the next plant is already being manufactured in India. So yeah, you can see here, this is the pyrogases in action. It's really full-fledged pyrogas operations. Initially, you can see some biomass leftovers, the ash. When we heat up the plant, that's when we use the biomass. Once the plant runs, then we use the pyrogases exclusively. And that's why it's important that this plant runs 24/7. There's 3 shifts every day to run this plant because you want to run on pyrogases. If you use biomass, it has a negative impact because, first of all, you're paying for the biomass. Second of all, you will get deductions in your carbon credits. Yeah, so this again, you can zoom in when you have opened this on the Crusaders group. This is the testing we did for the pollution control board. So we are well within all limits. We actually did 2 tests. We did 1 test in the stack, in the emission stack, and we did 1 test ambient air. Ambient air is actually what you have to do for the pollution control board. And in both tests, we are way below the limits, which, you know, makes us very confident, because I think India has one of the strictest limits when it comes to emissions in the global south. So basically, that means we can set up this plant in every country in the global south. Okay, now, carbon credits. How much time do I have left, Dr. Sai?
Yeah, I think we are running in time.
Okay, so I'll take another 5 minutes? 5 minutes. Yeah, perfect. I'll take another 5 minutes. So carbon credits. I'll try to keep this a little short, and I'm happy to have more discussions around it. So there's a lot of carbon credit standards, and it's a tremendously complex topic. The carbon standards that we work with is Pure Earth. I think that is a very famous one. And then we have Carbon Standards International with their Global Biochar C-Sync, it's called now. Previously, it was called EBC C-Sync. Now they call it Global Biochar C-Sync. Actually, we prefer to work with the one on the right, because they have been the pioneers in biochar carbon removal. And the Puro standard is actually referring to Carbon Standards International in their standard. When you read the standard, it says, when it comes to how to make the biochar methodology, they are referring back to Carbon Standards International. And with Puro, you also have a disadvantage that it takes ages for them to respond at the moment. So it takes you a year to certify a project. For us, it takes around 1.5 months to get a certification appointment to certify a new project. Yeah, so just one or two more words about these matters. In the end, it's a huge complexity. It's very difficult to really get through it. You have a lot of different and very important topics in these carbon standards. One is, for example, how well do you use all the carbon that goes into your system? So you have to use at least 60% of all the carbon that goes into an industrial system and make use of it. That means either you use the rest heat, obviously you make biochar from it, then you can also extract the bio oils from it, you can extract excess pyro gases from it and use it, but you have to use at least 60% of the C that goes into the system in form of the biomass and make use of it. So that's very, very important when it comes to the carbon credits. Maybe I think that's something of interest, the value of the carbon credits. Biochar carbon removal credits are some of the, I would say, in the carbon removal space, in the middle when it comes to value. So we, for example, in Namibia, we have sold carbon credits from prices of $250 per carbon credit to $180 per carbon credit to $160 per carbon credit, and slightly below that also. But this is, quite high quality carbon credits that we are making. And respective to that is also the complexity of how to make these carbon credits. So there's a lot of restrictions. I'll be happy to have more individual discussions about it, but I think since we are running short of time now, I'll skip that for now. So now what do we do in India? These industrial plants that I've shown you right now. In India, they have a limited use case. So they are brilliant for babul, for prosopis. They are brilliant for areas like Rajasthan, Gujarat, southern Haryana, where you don't have a strong monsoon, because you need dry biomass. You need biomass that has a moisture content of 15% or less. That's a huge component when you make biochar. You need to have dry biomass. As you can imagine, if there's a strong monsoon, it's very difficult to dry the biomass. It's not so easy. So now, what we do in India mainly, this is our focus in India, is artisanal biochar. So this is another carbon standard. It's a different category. It's not global. global biochar ceasing, it's global artisan ceasing. So these are, this is biochar making. I think many of you have seen this device, Kontiki kiln, very simply made biochar in a very simple technology, but still good quality biochar that can be used for soil application. So the main difference here is, again, lower technology, lower tech technology, and there's certain catches to it, like it has certain methane emissions which are not good, which you have to offset. And obviously the prices of the carbon credits are also lower. So I'm also happy to see Samir Sharma, one of our partners, who is doing artisan projects with us here in India. Is from Theo Ventures, the founders of Theo Ventures. So if you want to have a third-party referral, how good it is or how bad it is to work with us, you can speak to Samir. Yeah, so this is what we do, and this is our focus in India. This is what we're going to be scaling up with 2 or 3 very, very trusted partners in India, which are doing the implementation on the ground, which are collecting the biomass, which are doing the pyrolysis in their operations, and which are making a value-added product out of it. So Samir, for example, he's making a beautiful product called Sun Carbon. You know, you can check it out, suncarbon.in, out of it. And he's selling it to the market. He's selling it to end users, you know, home gardeners, but he's also selling it to farmers. And he is a brilliant man who is able to really experiment with the biochar. And this is, I think, what we need to see, because you can only run biochar projects if you are able to sell the biochar. Do not believe if anyone tells you that you can run a biochar project only on carbon credits. That is a blunt lie, and you know it's not going to be possible for long. And no investor, no carbon credit buyer wants to see that. So you always have to have additional revenues from the sale of biochar. Yeah. So I think with that I'm closing. I'm sorry I took a little more time.
You're not giving
Price
price for it.
for artisan credits.
Or not for your equipment.
Oh, for my equipment. Yeah, so basically the industrial plant is around 2.2 CR, and setting up this whole plant costs around 3.5 CR, somewhere along those lines. That basically means including the infrastructure you have to build, including the bought out items.
Certification?
Including, basically, the certification is a third-party cost. So whatever the third party is charging, that is also included in this 3.5 CR. Yeah.
What is the plant capacity?
3,500 tons in, 1,000 tons out. And you have around 10%, 10 to 15% in bio oils on top. So you have around 100, 150 tons bio oils on top.
One more, what are the pyrogas limitations to emit environment?
You're burning the pyrogases.
Already we have in methane, carbon dioxide, soft and non-soft there.
You're burning the pyrogases, no? You saw the picture. We're burning the pyrogases. So the methane, mostly it's the methane. This is what fuels this. So you're burning most of the methane. So you barely have any methane going out of the stack.
We have Q&A actually.
Oh, okay, there's a Q&A.
There's a Q&A at the end.
Okay.
So
He's already standing out. Just take this one.
you can take the last one.
Side of the billet, you will need to sign the contract.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
The thickness of the
Oh yeah, so basically the biomass, we have a rule of thumb which basically says minimum is the size in terms of thickness is the size of a thumb. So that's around 1 inch if you want it that way. And the maximum size is around 5 inches in diameter. And you're looking at around 60 centimeters, around 23 inches as the length. So this is a rough kind of guideline. So you can put any kind of biomass. Is also briquettes in this machine. But briquetting is usually super expensive, so it doesn't make sense.
Can you use bamboo?
Yeah, bamboo is beautiful. Bamboo works very well.
Bamboo, you're going to split it? Or you're going to
Yeah, split it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Flo. Actually, you know, for last 1 year, we have been conducting these workshops, and our members were having lots of doubts. I hope today you have given lots of answers for all their queries. So whatever they are having questions, particularly related to the quality certification, machinery, right? Specifications. So everything you are touched upon. And I hope still our members will have a couple of questions. So we'll take during tea break. Yeah?
Yeah,
So
perfect.
personally they will interact. Evening, okay, at the end we'll have. Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank
Flo. Now I invite Shri Tarak Durjati,
okay,
Senior
stay.
Vice President from
My seat is empty now.
the Nujividu Seeds Limited. Sir, please.
Talk too much. How should I take?
Hello, sir. You can start from there. It is there, sir. మీరు తిరుక్కుంటూ మాట్లాడండి.
Mic. So many mics. Sir, I'm making, yeah. Why it is not? Open the PDF one.
Text problem. Yeah.
Open the PDF one. PDF one. PPT. You PDF. Please.
With the fonts, some language change.
PDF ఉందా?
PDF ఉంది అందులోనే రెండు పంపించాను. ఒక్క నిమిషం సార్. మీరు మా వాళ్ళు పీపీటీ పంపించినప్పుడు మళ్ళీ పీపీటీ కూడా పంపించా. పీడిఎఫ్ చూడండి.
ఈ నెంబర్ పంపించారా?
పీడిఎఫ్ లేదా డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోవాలా?
సార్ మీరు వాట్సాప్లో మీరు పంపించు.
బయోచార్
ఒక సెకండ్ నాకు బయోచార్లో పంపారు.
పీవీఎస్ బయోచార్లో
ఆన్ చేయండి.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'll start rather than wait for presentation. Is it audible? Mic is audible, please. No. Yeah, I'll use this mic. Hello. Hello. Yeah. Thank you so much. So I would like to. Yeah. It's already done. Yeah. So I'm Tarak Durjati. I'm Senior Vice President NSL Group. NSL Group is a conglomerate of companies. We started with, of course, our progenitor company, our seed company, Nujividu Seeds Limited, started in 1973. And then, of course, hello, yeah. Yeah, our progenitor company is our seed company, Nujividu Seeds Limited, which started in 1973. And our group is close to $1 billion group today. We have companies in textiles, sugars, seeds, infra, and power, renewable power, mostly. These are the companies. There are a few other enterprises. Across the group, I had on innovative projects and ESG initiatives. And so today, I'm here to share our experiences as a group with respect to biochar. Of course, this field has been emerging in the last 1 decade. Everyone is talking, it has become a buzzword, and everyone is talking about the promising opportunity biochar presents. So at NSL, actually, biochar was not of big importance to us actually. It was a byproduct of our seed processing plant. So we never bothered about biochar, some charcoal being produced in our seed processing plant till 2020, 2021 maybe. When someone told you are sitting on a treasure of, gold, mine of gold. So we have a lot of seed processing plants, around 13 seed processing plants, out of which 2 of these plants, one located in Hyderabad, near Hyderabad, and one in Eluru, near Andhra. These plants are designed for processing of maize seeds. Basically, in maize seeds, what they do is they have this huge uh, manufacturing setup for seed drying, seed processing in maize, especially. They have these cob dryer technology, which is a very old technology. I mean, US being the largest producer of maize, it has been there from 1950s. So we have this crop dryer technology like other seed companies also, but most of these seed companies, it's a last generation technology. Most of the seed companies have moved on to drying maize seeds using LPG or CNG nowadays, but we have continued with this setup. So this and couple of, I think today we have only a few companies using this, around 5 to 10 companies maybe using this old crop dryer technology. So our seed processing plant, which has this crop dryer, at the back end of this crop dryer, the heat is generated through a gasifier. Now, what gasifier does is it takes the biomass, which is nothing but a corn shank. Your corn shank, which is the plant residue, that corn shank is, yeah. Okay, so the corn shank is burnt at very high temperatures, and then it slowly, I'll just show you, my presentation is going to be very short, right? I'll share some of the experiences on biochar, what we do. This is the corn cob dryer, which you can see in any seed processing plant. And this corn cob dryer, we have, as I mentioned, we have 4 such large corn cob dryers. And our primary purpose is to reduce the seed moisture. When we harvest from the seed, from the field, it is 35%. So we have to bring it down to 12% and below. So we use this dryer. At the back end of this dryer, you will have a gasifier. And the gasifier uses the biomass, which are the shanks, the corn shanks. And of course, we take it to 1,000-degree temperature, and the temperature is brought down to 40 degrees, 60 to 40 degrees gradually. And then there is a 3-day to 4-day cycle where slowly the gases will reduce because we don't want to treat our seed with high temperature. Seed is our main product. So we want to, it's like a baby, we want to keep it. So slowly the seed is subjected to 40 degrees temperature for 5 days. Then the seed moisture will come down. The byproduct of this is your biocharcoal, where you have, this is a downdraft gasifier. This is a huge gasifier. It's a 5-storied, structure. Like this, we have 4 of them, right? So this gasifier will produce, like we do around 10,000 tons of corn seed every year. So somewhere around 2 to 3,000 tons of biochar is generated every year. That too for 2 months, because we operate only 2 months before the season. So we don't operate this gasifier for entire year. So the outputs for us, it was a byproduct. So we never bothered about biochar. It was we are generating biochar, and we were selling to some people who are like buyers of briquettes, coal briquettes, who want to mix it with coal and sell it off 1 rupee, 2 rupees a kilo. So just disposing it off. So for us, it was more of a disposal problem, not a biochar experimental problem till 2021. So in 2021, when we were discussing with few experts, I think including our Dr. K.R.K. Reddy sir also, he is one of our, we are in collaboration on certain projects. So some of the experts, so what we understood was this is an emerging subject, and we need to look at this subject more closely. So what we started doing, till then we were giving it to our textile plant where they were using it in boiler, or sugar mill where they were using it in boiler, or distillery. Now we started actually looking at it more closely, and then we kind of got it tested. We got it tested, and then we found that the corn shank biochar is somewhere having around 83% of carbon. When it is pulverized, when it is concentrated, it is having 83% of non-reactive, very high quality carbon. And then it can be used, it has to be activated because its pH is around, one important finding which is the pH is around 9 to 10. So it has to be activated. It can be used directly in acidic soils, but we don't have much acidic soils around here. So it has to be activated, and we have to bring down the pH. So we tried several microbial consortia, including FIM and decomposer cultures, and then successfully last year, what we did is we got these pits dug in our processing plant, some 6 pits, 20-meter into 5-meter into 1.5-meter pits. Then we developed biocompost, almost 3,000 to 4,000 tons of biocompost, which we distributed to the farmers. And of course, we are keeping a record of all these things, because once biochar goes into the soil, it's going to stay there for a long time, more than a century. So this is what we did last year. And then last year, another experiment which we did included these kilns. Under our CSR project, we bought these kilns, these bins, biochar burning bins. We bought some 10, 12 bins. And of course, we are doing this project out of CSR and out of, the primary, our whole agenda now with biochar is three-folded, I can say. One is, of course, we want to, whatever output is coming, 2,000 tons, 3,000 tons of biochar we are getting every year, and we will operate only two months only. We want to use it and make it a value-added project, value-added products. We know biochar has 50 different kind of uses. You can make cosmetics out of it. You can make graphite electrodes. You can do anything. You can sell it for 1 rupee, or you can sell it for 1,000 rupee a kilo. There are so many things in the literature. We know all that. But as I said, we are at a very early stage of research and very early stage of working on value-added products. So we have three kind of very well-defined agenda we have developed for this biochar. The first one being, we want to kind of develop soil amendments using microbial cultures, very suitable microbial cultures which can enrich biochar, and we want to develop biochar-based biocompost, not only within our plant and all, but also in those areas where, because we have a lot of farmer outreach, both in our sugar and our seed company, where we have a lot of cotton seed production farmers, maize seed production farmers. So we are working with them for supplying this biochar as a part of the soil health improvement program. So that is the first agenda item. Second, of course, is the carbon removal process. We have already started our registration for this is the, if you can see, I can share this PPT, but yeah, the GCV is around 5,300 and pH around 9, and also we have all the major and minor micronutrients and nutrients. Yeah. So our summary, what I want to say is, we are working on as I told you, three-pronged, three dimensions in our agenda. One is soil health improvement projects. Second is, we are working on, carbon removal. We want to register carbon removal credits. Already we have started the process for our plant, but we are looking for something much larger, where we are kind of working with groups of farmers across India who are either in our collaborative cotton farming project in our NSL textile company, or who are in our seed production program. We are developing community-based biochar pits, community-based biochar banks, which can be operated by women entrepreneurs or similar youth or anyone in village. So we want to develop something, linked to a local level, small scale biochar facility which can develop biocompost. So that is the second part of the agenda. And third, of course, is value-added projects. We don't know what is going to throw out in terms of value. So we are in touch with some of the CSIR labs, our companies, some of the top companies, R&D companies, including some of the names which have been taken earlier by the earlier speaker. So we want to, because each has separate goal, like Mash Makes, for example, their main product is oil, which is used as an additive in ships. So they have back-to-back contracts with Norwegian shipping companies, right? So their only focus is oil. Of course, they also generate 7,000 tons of biochar every year. Similarly, our focus is ours. We have a byproduct which we want to convert either into a fertilizer or a soil health improvement product, or we want to kind of develop more, value-added products, especially targeted towards agriculture and towards farmers in terms of being a growth enhancer or a biostimulant. So these are all at this point of time. These projects are at very early phase. I can answer questions on them, but these projects, we don't claim that, we have something eureka moment at this point of time. So very early, but so far our experience has been great, and I've been a recent addition to this Biochar Crusaders group, and this is the last one is what we are working. Currently we submitted a project, SIDBI, because this is also MSME. SIDBI is promoting decarbonization projects, decarbonization fund they have, and they're giving grants also. So we have also submitted a project to them. So interested people can, in fact, approach such agencies, and you can get a grant. So that's in a nutshell of what we do, and I can take questions offline or Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Can you go back?
We had to get back.
తీసుకోండి సార్ రెండు తీసుకో
రొటేషన్
Thank you, sir, Tarak ji, for explaining and giving details of your interventions in the area of biochar. And as Tarak ji has mentioned, our SIDBI, Small Industries Development Bank of India, they are also supporting financing for decarbonization, and interested entrepreneurs may reach SIDBI regional office at Hyderabad. Now we'll continue our inaugural session, and now I invite today's chief guest, Dr. P. Chandrasekhara. Sir is the Director General of National Institute of Agriculture Extension Management, Manage, Hyderabad. It is an autonomous organization of Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, Government of India. Dr. Chandrasekhara was awarded PhD in Agriculture Extension from University of Agriculture Sciences, Bangalore in the year 1999, and was awarded a gold medal. He completed his post-graduation in Agriculture Extension from University of Agriculture Sciences, Bangalore in 1989, and he worked in many organizations connected with agriculture. He is having vast experience of 34 years in the area of agriculture field, and sir is known for many innovations in the country, and he played a very vital role for various interventions taken up by Government of India. He is well-known personality in the field of agriculture, And sir, I invite you to address the participants, sir. And at the same time, we are sorry for the delay. Please, sir.
Namaskar to everyone. Thank you, Mr. Gaud. Dr. Mehta, Evergreen, the youngest crusader of Biochar. Last year, I was a part of this program, and the same enthusiasm and the same, the leadership given by Dr. Mehta is really laudable. Of course, Honorable DG Dr. Glory Sarupa is not here, but they have given the platform for very good activity. And my professional colleague, Dr. Venkatram Reddy, Commissioner, Horticulture, retired. So we used to work together on so many horticulture programs in Telangana. So I'm happy to see him here. Mr. Gupta, Mr. Sai Reddy, and Mr. Gaud. Happy to meet my colleague from Coffee Board, Director Research, retired Dr. Agro-forestry, and Dr. K.R.K. Reddy, and many friends, many known faces are here. First of all, thank you very much for this opportunity. So I'm a student of extension. Probably when you talk about technology, Mr. Flo talked about technology, then Mr. Sharath also brought the technology to community participation and dissemination level. So I'm a student of agricultural extension. I always think if you talk about a technology, how I can take it to the masses. So unless we institutionalize, make it mainstream, make it part of a public system, it takes its own time to reach the last mile person who is expected to take maximum benefit of it. This is very important when we are talking about climate change. So I just give an example. Maldives being a small island, it contributes 0.03% of greenhouse gases. But this is the first country which is going to see the brunt of the climate change. So none of us in the hall can be complacent, because whether we contribute or not, we got to be very cautious. So in this direction, I think we are talking about biochar, and this is a very good development. Then we also talk about avoiding waste actually in agriculture, how we can recycle the waste. This is one important technology which can also add little bit of more income to the kitty of the farmers, because we are talking about doubling income of the farmers or increasing income of the farmers. So what is treated as waste can also contribute to income of the farmers. And most importantly, sustainable life and agriculture are very critical, and this technology is going to contribute for that. So from Government of India perspective, I would like to share few of my thoughts. Number one, government is very clear. We are spending 2 lakh crore every year for importing fertilizers. We have to reduce to start with. I think this is one technology which can contribute in this direction. And states are also going to be incentivized for reducing the use of fertilizers. The scheme is already in pipeline. So the state government can also initiate, some of the programs for incentivizing biochar crusaders. See, conferences, a lot of knowledge generation, understanding, sensitizing ourselves is fine, but unless the policymakers are sensitized about this, things will not happen at national level or state level. They play very important role. So the crusaders also should keep some time to sensitize some key people. The team should keep some time to sensitize them, so that the moment they sensitize, they start working. How we can mainstream this idea in ongoing programs. Regarding technology generations are concerned, of course, we have agriculture universities, ICR organizations, you are all familiar. Even at district level, we have Krishi Vignan Kendras. They are doing a lot of research, but I heard very little research on, biochar. I appreciate, being in private sector from the point of the health of this earth and the people, you are taking up this as a sustainable and income generating activity. I appreciate, but it is very important to link it to main research and development system also. So when 77 agriculture universities start talking about biochar, it echoes in classrooms and it reaches every village. So linking to ICR organizations and universities is also very important. Today, the entire country is talking about natural farming. Even Honorable Prime Minister said we should promote natural farming. So maybe, of course, you are going to officially hear from government more than 15,000 clusters, natural farming clusters will be promoted in this country and covering 1 crore farmers. So as a pilot case in different parts of the country, and champion farmers, progressive farmers, and several organizations, we are very active in grassroots level. They are going to be used in promotion of natural farming. So natural farming basic principle, we are also promoting organic farming till yesterday. Now we are talking about natural farming. In organic farming or natural farming, basically we are not using, broadly, not using pesticide or fertilizers. But in organic farming, external inputs can be used, whereas in natural farming, the in-situ recycling of resources is promoted. So in that direction, I think this biochar technology will be of great use. But how we are going to link this biochar technology with the natural farming product? Because they are also very sensitive and they are very cautious actually while accepting any technologies. They talk about the local breeds, land races, and using some cow byproducts. So they are also very sensitive. So how we can link this biochar into natural farming so that in situ bio waste can be recycled to support nutrient requirement in natural farming. See, this is going to be a very big program. So if it is better to be part of a very big program so that we can reach a large number of people, then some of the institutions at the grassroots level can play a very important role. See, ministry is talking about promotion of 10,000 farmers producers organizations. So 500,000 farmers, they can come together, and starting from social mobilization till business plan preparation and implementation, the government is supporting them. So when we link with, instead of individual farmer with the groups, probably we can reach a large number of people in less time. This is one of the platform which we can make use of that. You all know that cooperative ministry is established separately, and large number of incentives are announced for ministry of cooperation. See, one of the recent announcement is every cooperative society will be given with drones, and also 2,000 metric tons of storage capacity will be created, and 1 crore rupee per cooperative society is given for agri infrastructure fund. So it could be anything, including biochar production also. So we have to link up with institutions on one side and the departmental programs on the other side, so that this blend will practically work for the benefit of the people. And one of the district level institution probably play a very important role in sensitizing the people, which is not popular, but still it exists in every district. You might have heard about Atma, Agriculture Technology Management Agency. So it brings all the people together, irrespective of the department, agriculture, horticulture, animal husbandry, and fisheries, marketing, food processing. All the departments, they sit together and they work for development of farmers. There, the advantage is the fund flow from the top to bottom, whereas the plan flows from bottom to top. So when you identify some of the bio waste and converting into biochar and using in the farmer's field, whatever the necessary skill training is required, whatever the financial support is required, whatever the social mobilization is required, all provisions are there under Atma. Only thing you have to link up with Atma structure. So this is one of the low-hanging fruit which we can, think about. There are other, schemes are also there, but how we can link biochar with those programs is very, very important. See, somebody who can explain science of agriculture to farmers, they are promoted through a scheme called Agri Clinic and Agri Business Centers. Unemployed agriculture graduates are trained and they are given up to 20 lakh rupees loan and some 36 to 44% subsidy, and 1 year some handholding support is given. So we have tried to manage the lead agency for training these people. Around 90,000 unemployed agriculture graduates are trained, out of which 40,000 people have established their own enterprises. Now, what is the significance of these people in promotion of biochar? They are from agriculture science background. They can explain science of any technology for that matter in an area of 5 to 10 villages. So all these details of established agri ventures are available in agriclinics.net. You can go to our website and you will find a lot of information. So I think at one go, by linking to agri clinic scheme, you can add another 40,000 biochar crusaders to your team. So that is one of the opportunity. Even 10% is not a small number. We have another important program called DESI, Diploma in Agricultural Extension Services for Input Dealer. Input dealer is a village level trader who supply seed, fertilizer, pesticides, and also information to farmers. So traditionally they don't deal with any products of this nature. If you introduce this technology to input dealers, wherever they see money, probably they will be attracted. He is an entrepreneur located at a village, and where is the raw material? It is available in the field of the farmers. I am from a plantation area. In majority of the crops, we find a lot of waste. Coffee, it produces lot of husk actually, and coconut, you again that husk also produces a lot of fiber material is available which can be used for biochar, and arecanut, it produces the outer husk. So you travel in any plantation area, on the both the sides of the road, you find heaps and heaps of this bio waste, which one of our panelists told, we are sitting on the treasure. I think we have to rediscover the treasure. These technology should reach those places where this bio waste is literally wasted. I think there is lot of opportunity for recycling this material, and there are many programs actually. There are many programs by Government of India that linking these farmers to those programs and using this waste. Probably we have to work at that level unless we prepare some community level models for absorption of these technologies and implementation, and it will remain as a topic on the cloud. So probably it will not reach the last mile farmers. We are also in the process of training large number of grassroots level extension functionaries. Who are these people? We call it as Krishi Sakis or Pashu Sakis, who promote animal husbandry technologies. Matsya Sakis, they are promoting fisheries technologies. They are not scientists or trained paid government officials. Basically they are all village level extension workers with some scientific orientation. So these people, any technology you give to them, they try to disseminate among the neighborhood. So we have some channels actually. Ministry of Rural Development through National Rural Livelihood Mission, they are building the capacity of these people. Recently, Honorable Prime Minister, he distributed certificates to 30,000 Krishi Sakis trained by my organization, Manage, in Varanasi as para extension professionals. Our target is to train 70,000 people. So is it possible to talk about biochar for 5 minutes or 10 minutes so that that material will go to their mind, and wherever they go, they can start talking about this. So this massive sensitization is very, very important to make use of 100% of bio waste which is available. And stubble burning is a serious problem. Delhi, whenever you see pollution, it happens around surrounding areas. But that is the place where this technology can play a very, very important role. Funds are available, programs are available, technology is available. We are also discussing here, but who will build the cat is very, very important. Therefore, sensitizing policy makers, taking little bit time. I think there is no shortcut. We have to invest on that. It's very, very important. I'm very happy to see, I stay in this campus. I'm very happy to see one of the biochar unit established by Biochar Crusaders. And inspired by that, I was also talking to Mr. Sharath. Can we install one in my organization? National Institute of Agriculture Extension Management. We are very close to airport. I am working on a concept called green. Today afternoon, 3 o'clock, we are going to open a 50 megawatt solar power unit. I think before August 15th, 100% of our power comes from solar. We are going to be a self-reliant organization. We don't depend on electricity. That is number one. We have eliminated 100% plastic from there, and we use only recyclable material. And every drop of water we receive, see, we are basically in dryland area, but you can visit my organization, you find a lot of green. The secret is every drop of water we receive in the campus is recycled, and every gram of waste which is coming out of our hostels and academic buildings, and that is also recycled in the form of vermicompost, and again we are using for development of lawns and all. Recently we have planted around 3,000 bamboo plants. They are going to add a lot of green into that, and these are all very small. We have initiated a electric buggy. Of course ours is small campus, buggy is not required, but it sends a message to the people that why don't you use electric vehicle rather than vehicles run on petrols and diesels. So these are all very small initiatives with a message, and I will be happy to embrace the technology of biochar, because my organization is visited by at least 5,000 to 6,000 senior officers from different parts of the country and from ministry, and many international executives also undergo training program in my organization. And while walking in the campus, anyway they are going to see that unit and they will ask few questions. I think that is the point of learning. So I am not an enlightened person with respect to biochar, but I can understand the importance and the value of biochar for sustainable agriculture. So thank you very much for this opportunity, and we will establish with the help of Sharath. I have invited him to my organization. We will also establish a demonstration unit there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Last year also you have given very good suggestions, and we are following it up. And today you have given very much details about various schemes and how we can work to promote biochar. And you have also given some ideas to market these biochar products as well. And definitely, sir, as you suggested, we'll try to reach out, the agriculture institutions, ICR institutions, and also policymakers to sensitize about the biochar technology and application. And also, it is very good opportunity for us to work with the natural clusters and also FPOs to take it further, sir. Thank you very much. And now I invite another dignitary, Dr. L. Venkatram Reddy Garu. Sir, again, he worked with the various departments of agriculture in the state of Telangana, and he appointed as a commissioner of horticulture before his retirement. And during his tenure, he did a lot of interventions, and he has implemented agro-forestry projects. And under his guidance, the department has planted around 15,000 acres under agro-forestry scheme with various species. Sir has also taken initiatives to establish a bamboo mission in the state of Telangana. Sir, I invite you, sir.
Good morning to everyone. Thanks for inviting me for this occasion. And dignitaries on the dais, particularly DG Manoj Garu is an excellent person as well as the professional agriculture graduate. And after his assuming charge as a managed DG, the scenery of the extension is totally different than the previous ones. So the senior IAS officer, what he does is just, it is the administrative side. But where technical officer, when he took the charge as an administrator in the campus, totally it is revamped and it reaching to the farmers. So it is an example of that institution. I am very much thankful to the DG Chandrasekhar Garu, and on the dais on the this Sai Bhaskar Reddy Garu is doing excellent work through Progressive Biochar Society, and Dr. Mehta is also, though his age of 84 years, still is doing something for the society. Like that, so many people are contributing on their own to their sectors. So I am everyone. I am thankful to all the audience and the dais. So for this climate change resilience, we are facing the challenges in this temperature. We see in the 52 degrees reached this March, April and May till 20th June. So because of, we know how it is happening, why it is happening, what are the remedies. But remedies, the war, whatever the European countries which are polluting since 300 years, 400 years together, they are not taking any much seriousness about the remedies. But as a Indians, we are the sufferers. So at least we have the patience to deal with the world. It is the opportunity to us to take into our hands, and to some resilience matter has to be taken in our hands. We have to do as a climate resilience activities as early as possible. So this biochar is the one of the best concept, as well as it is useful for the increasing the organic carbon of the soils. Now we are getting the food surplus, but there is no nutrition in the food. Whatever we are eating, totally 60 to 70% there is nutritious less food we are eating. Because of that one, we are taking more quantity of the tablets than the food. So that is happening. So until unless we improve the soil fertility, soil organic carbon, soil humus, the nutritive food we cannot expect. So in that way, the biochar is the main product for increasing the soil organic carbon, which is now 0.5% or less than 0.5%. Where before the independence we have the near about 3.4 to 3.5% organic carbon in our soils. At that time we have the plenty of the food and nutritious. There is no any diseases or things to the human consumers. Now everywhere we are, the hospitals are increasing, but the quantity of the produce is increasing, but the quality is not increasing. So this is the best opportunity for the mainly farmers and the consumers of the food. Without food we cannot live. Any living thing cannot live because without food. So in this way, in this concept, our biochar utilization to the soils is the most important. And secondly, the climate change. Both are combined together. We have to answer it. We are the people, the crusaders is the main role for the this activity. So I am thankful to join in this activity. I am also, as sir said, I am also learner. Just recently I requested the Nujuvidu Prabhakar Garu, and he sent me 2 lorry loads of the biochar to me and agriculture minister. We both used for the palm oil plantation. The total, we have seen the difference between the without use of the biochar and use of the biochar plants of the oil palm. So it drastically change we observing, and so many YouTube videos I am seeing. Sai Bhaskar Reddy Garu, he is so patiently explaining to the farmers, and thousands of the farmers are seeing his YouTube views, and they are expressing comments. And in the villages also, slowly they started the Kentucky type of biochar making, so they are using it. So it's a good program. I am very much thankful to this society or this biochar society, as well as the participant of the today. And the opportunity which was given by this for the seminar, I am very much thankful to the MSME and their team of all the officers. Thank you.
Hello. A small announcement. I apologize, Sudhakar Reddy, sir. There is no time. We have got 1 hour of question hour session in the evening, coordinated by Dr. Sai Bhaskar Reddy. So all your questions, please write down. In your folder, there is a sheet called questions. You can write the question, give it to him, and he'll get it answered. And then you'll get a chance to speak also. Sorry for that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Now I request the dignitaries and our chief guest, Dr. Chandrasekhara, to present. We want to honor our sponsors and also presenters. So first, I invite Sri from Carbon Capture Solutions Private Limited, Leelaji Babu Garu.
You have to come up. Come up. सब आप रोज कर सकते हैं कोई दिन
Good evening, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Leelaji Babu. I am the managing director of Carbon Capture Solutions Private Limited. Recently, we are completed the biochar manufacturing process, coming into biochar manufacturing process. So today evening, I would like to invite everybody in this hall for dinner to this barbecue nation, which will be installed on the premises. That is all. Again, we will meet in the evening. Thank you.
Networking also will happen.
From Nuji Seeds Private Limited, Sir. Babu, Ayya. Sir, camera. Stay. Thank
One more, sir, for presentation also.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Flo.
Well done. Your presence is excellent.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Now I invite Mr. S.K. Gupta ji to propose vote of thanks. Gupta ji.
Good morning to all of you. It's really a great honor for me to present vote of thanks to this august house. Actually, this seminar is like a movement for biochar, what I feel is. And we are all crusaders for the biochar. So, dignitaries on dais, Mr. P. Chandrasekhar Garu, DG Manage, Mr. Venkatram Reddy Garu, Mr. R.K. Mehta ji, Mr. Sai Bhaskar Reddy Garu, Madam Glory, Madam Glory, DG of NIMSME, and Sur Prasad Garu, and all my friends and guests who have come here all the way from different places. Now, first of all, I request Mr. Chandrasekhar Garu, DG Manage, to request to integrate this biochar in all the government programs and in order to sensitize the departments so that this biochar can become a movement. And we promise to this August House, as per the Honorable Prime Minister of India's wish and aims to propose and to double the income of the farmers. That is the first and foremost thing. And second and the most important thing is that this containing global warming. Actually, this is a blessing in disguise. 2 degrees, if once it goes up, then there will be a lot of problem in the whole world. Probably food security also will be disturbed. So now already it has reached 1.5 degree. So this particular thing has come up and the whole world is bothered, and in the process this biochar happens to be one of the solution and one of the best solution available for us. Now in the process I should thank these two great people over here. One is Bamboo Man. He is Mr. L. Venkatram Reddy Garu. He is called a Bamboo Man of India. And then another man is Mr. R.K. Mehta ji. He is supposed to be called as Biochar Man of India. If you all agree. So these two people, and of course I cannot forget Mr. Sai Bhaskar Reddy Garu. His videos are really churning to everywhere. Everyone knows, around the country or maybe around the world. Now, and Dr. Sai Bhaskar Reddy is not a new name in biochar. Thank you, sir. Now, I also thanks to Mr. our Tarak Saab and our core carbonics Mr. Leela ji for sponsoring this particular program, and Bamboo Biochar Academy and NIMSME particularly for giving us this opportunity. And the people, my thanks to all of you who are here. During the session we will introduce VIPs over here, and right now we are breaking for a photo session, then tea. Thank you very much, sir.
Friends, in front of the building, we'll take group photo. You kindly proceed for group photo, then we'll have tea.